This is the SSH presentation by Zachary Stassa. SSH stands for Secure Socket Shell, or also Secure Shell. SSH makes it possible for remote connections to a system. SSH provides a secure way for users and administrators to connect to a system over a network or any network that is connected to the internet. SSH is useful for sensitive connections since it uses encryption to secure the traffic. As SSH is able to use the authentication of passwords to provide a secure login to the connection. An important aspect of SSH is its ability to use public key authentication in order to have an encrypted connection between two computers. The encrypted connection used by SSH is important because the connection can remain secure even if the network being used to make the connection is unsecure. SSH is administratively useful due to the secure connection it provides. Since SSH uses a secure connection using encryption, sensitive and privileged actions can be taken by people such as system administrators or moderators without worry over things such as man-in-the-middle attacks compromising the flow of traffic. Using SSH, administrators can remotely execute important commands, manage user permissions, or control different system features. The model used by SSH is the client-server model. SSH is usually built around the ability to transfer files or to emulate the command line prompt. SSH is a secure version of remote login programs, which is important as using an insecure login program is very risky, since if the information is intercepted or eavesdropped on, it can easily be used to gain important info. SSH utilized as a way to administer software updates to different systems is very useful. SSH is also useful in being able to remotely access different hardware devices such as routers and or firewalls without having to have physical access to everything that needs to be configured. SSH can be used to automate certain tasks in managing different aspects of a system. OpenSSH uses the SSH protocol to provide secure connections over networks. OpenSSH uses a suite of different programs to work together to achieve secure connections. OpenSSH can be used on many different operating systems, though it is mostly used on Linux operating systems. OpenSSH is based off of the C programming language. OpenSSH is designed to prevent the hijacking of the connection or any types of possible eavesdropping, whereas other non-secure connection programs transmit data in plain text. OpenSSH has its traffic encrypted, preventing eavesdropping. OpenSSH is one of the best free options to effectively use the SSH protocol. OpenSSH allows for configuration of the program through letting things like port and key options be modified. And now there are some open SSH hardening recommendations. Enabling a idle timeout interval for open SSH will limit the amount of time the SSH connection stays open, preventing a connection being created by a user that could later be physically compromised through it being left unattended by the user. Preventing login access to SSH through the root user can prevent the possibility of an attacker gaining complete control of the target systems remotely, since it will be disabled. Configuring the SSH port to be unique from the set default can help reduce attack surface, since many common SSH attacks have the target port defined as the default SSH port. And with the end of the presentation, here are the references.